Hello everyone, today my topic is the development of materials for table tennis racket. I will introduce this topic from the following order: the history of the table tennis, the structure of the racket, the materials for racket, the blade and the rubber, the references. Table tennis originated in the United Kingdom. At the end of the 19th century, tennis was prevalent in Europe. Due to the restrictions of the venue and the weather, some college students in the United Kingdom moved tennis indoors, using the table as a table, books as nets, and parchment as rackets, hitting on the table. Later, the hollow ball was used as the ball, and the wooden board was used as the racket. This kind of tennis on the table was called table tennis. This is the origin of the name table tennis. First, let's watch a video about the other name of table tennis.
What we see here is an evolution of the table tennis bat, from the earliest bats in the 1890s all the way up to modern bats. Lawn tennis proved to be very popular in the 1880s, and game makers were quick to try to piggyback off lawn tennis success. And so they tried a variety of experiments of indoor versions of lawn tennis. The most popular of the old rackets was this sheepskin vellum drum racket with the long handle. And each of these had a slightly different pitch, and so the sound was slightly like a drum. And that suggested the name ping pong.
As we can see in the figure, a table tennis racket is made up of two distinct parts. On the left is a wooden blade that incorporates a handle. On the right is a common type of rubbers, the table tennis rubbers, which are affixed to each side of the blade, using water-based glue and then trimmed to fit the blade. Here's a side view of a racket showing the wooden blade, with sandwich rubbers affixed to each side of the blade. As sports equipment used by athletes in competitions, table tennis rackets cannot be ignored, and often play a role in determining the competition. Athletes pay more attention to the effects of hitting the ball, such as speed, excellent handling, and stronger spin. Different materials of rubber and blade will produce different effects in the game. I will introduce this topic from the rubbers and the blade. In 1982, the International Olympic Committee decided to include table tennis in the 1988 Olympic Games, which promoted the development of table tennis. The International Table Tennis Federation stipulates that the bottom of table tennis blade must contain at least 85% of natural wood, so wood plays a vital role in the bottom of table tennis, so that many types of wood can be used as table tennis blade. The commonly used wood is tongue, juniper, spruce, linden, and some others. Different woods have different properties. Tongue wood is a lightweight material with high toughness, but the disadvantage of it is low strength. The softness and rigidity of its internal parts are very uneven, so when it is used in many cases, it is spliced with other wood to achieve uniform elasticity. Hinoki is a very rare wood with low density, high elasticity and high resistance to chemical solvents and microorganisms. Usually the whole blade is made of this kind of wood. The picture on the right shows a single hinoki blade. Due to the scarcity of this kind of wood, the common single hinoki blades are now made of two or more pieces of wood, but this does not affect its performance. EOS is produced in African countries. It has low density and toughness, but the hardness is between linden and tongue. Blade manufacturers, such as Butterfly and Steiga, usually use this kind of wood for panels and core blades. EOS is the most common core material. For example, Galaxy 992 is made of EOS and carbon fiber. Linden was used to make blades very early. The main disadvantage of this wood is heavy weight, but it has been widely used for a long time. because this heavy blade is suitable for fast attack, but at present, many manufacturers use a combination of linden and lightwood to manufacture the blade. This can better play its performance. With the advancement of technology, athletes are not satisfied with the table tennis racket of pure wood, and have developed multi-layer rackets to meet the requirements of energy storage and hardness. Most rackets are 5-layer or 7-layer structures, made of wood and fiber materials, such as carbon fiber, glass fiber, aerial fiber. The table shows the performance of composites for table tennis blade. In the bonding process of each layer, the principle that the transverse fibers and the longitudinal fibers of the wood are mutually bonded is generally adopted. The most important new material applications are carbon fiber, aerial fiber, and glass fiber. Generally, in a multi-layer floor, only 2 layers are composed of new materials, and the others are wooden. Carbon fiber materials have low specific gravity and high strength, so when they are impacted, the deformation is small, and the speed of returning to the original state is fast. This can increase the speed of the ball, but the carbon fiber floor feels harder and costs more. Aerolate fiber has the characteristics of strong flexibility and high specific strength. Therefore, the base plate of aerolate fiber is added, and the ball feels soft. The contact time between the ball and the racket is longer, but the force will have several feedbacks, just like a slingshot. The left diagram shows that the blade with 7 pies, 2 of them are aerolate carbon fiber, others are wood. 5 piles and 7 piles blades are suitable for different styles of players. With the development of science and technology, more types of rackets will be invented, which are suitable for different styles of hitting. In the early days of table tennis, there was no application of sponges and rubber materials. In 1902, after the British players invented the rubber racket, they changed the way the table tennis hits. In the 1920s, a rubber racket with granule appeared. The granule rubber significantly increases the elasticity and friction of the paddle when hitting the ball. In 1952, Japanese players won the championship of the 19th World Table Tennis Championships using sponge rackets, which marked that the sponge rackets entered the stage of history. The effect of sponge thickness is related to spin, speed, and control, the 3 basic areas in table tennis. Every player, every day, must deal with these 3 areas. A thin sponge gives better control, block and push, and less speed than a thick sponge. The spin created by a thin sponge can suit a player whose style matches up well with the attributes of a thin sponge. Sponges became increasingly popular with professional athletes as a cushioning material between the rubber skin and the floor. In terms of natural sponge has a kind of porous foamed, plastic polymer material can effectively compress, when hit by external forces, effectively absorb the potential energy of the ball from the opponent, give players more regulation of the direction of the ball, and the rotation time. We can see that there is some small granule on the surface of the rubber. The left diagram shows the rotation of the ball on the sponge rackets. These are the references. Finally, thanks for watching.